Hi there, and welcome to the Nova Scotia Kitchens podcast. I'm your host, Sherry Graham, and in this podcast, I take you along with me as I visit friends in their Nova Scotia kitchens and they share a favorite recipe. You can learn more over at novascotiakitchens.com, where you can see the show notes, print the recipes, and see some pictures from our visits. A quick housekeeping note. We've been having issues with the email address that I shared in the first episode, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can send a message at novascotiakitchens.com. Just click on About at the top and then on Contact, and you can send us a message. Sorry for any inconvenience, and if you did try to send a message and it didn't come through, please send it again. We would love to receive it, and sorry about that inconvenience. Thanks so much. Enjoy the show. In this episode, I visit with my friends Jimmy and Sasha of Bullygoth Farm. Jimmy shares a recipe for shrimp and grits, a dish that was totally new to me, but which he grew up on down in the southern U.S., and it is so tasty. Jimmy loves to cook and share food with guests, and through the podcast, he shares lots of cooking tips and variations on the recipe that we chat through. So I hope that you will try making some shrimp and grits. You can also use very Nova Scotian lobster in the recipe. You can serve it on different bases other than grits. Rice would be delicious. And you need to listen to the whole thing. So at the end you can hear Julia Child channeling herself through Jimmy, as well as a serenade by Jimmy and Sasha. We had a really fun visit, and there may have been a bit of blackcurrant wine that was consumed. All right, thanks so much for listening, and enjoy the show.
So I've got no necessary idea where shrimp and grits came from, but because of like my southern roots, I was raised in Georgia until I was 8. Then like there's like the Charleston shrimp and grits, so I always like pictured it coming from Charleston. But I know definitely that the Louisianans have a shrimp and grits, so the Cajuns have a shrimp and grits that they do.
Yeah.
And some of them are kind of like brown sauces, some of them are like creamy. The one that I do is sort of like a chicken tomato.
Okay, grits is not a thing I'm familiar with. So it's corn though somehow, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's
okay.
A type of corn. It's a hominy. It's like it's a big white kernel, and then they dry it and then grind it, and and it's good. But there's some like in some parts in the South they do it with like a yellow corn, so you can have like yellow grits. But like I'm not familiar with that at all. Like in South Carolina and Georgia, like we ate ground white hominy.
So it comes like. The package is called like hominy?
Yep, well, it's called grits, I guess.
Oh.
And that's like...
Yeah, I've never shopped for grits.
I don't think you could even buy them here. I think that it's
okay.
My mom...
I don't remember ever seeing this. You know, the grocery store.
Mom...
White hominy grits. Yeah. That's your clandestine over-the-border deliveries.
Yeah, we sneak. We have like, trunks full of grits. It's just like we say to the security guard, the border guards, like, just don't check the trunk because it's full of white hominy.
Suspicious stuff. Oh, that's cool. So the shrimp for it, hang on, just keep on here. Is there a certain type of shrimp, or what's the shrimp story?
I think it's sort of originally like all the delicious food, like sort of like a peasant-y kind of meal, and like shrimp used to be just the garbage that they put on the table that you shucked while you were drinking beer, or like it wasn't. And then hominy was like just cheap,
readily available,
crummy, like. Because I mean, grits, they don't actually taste like very much until you start adding like cheese and
like
butter.
Pasta or whatever, rice or
Are you gonna do them with the cashews this time?
No, but that's actually a really good recipe because I put cheese and butter in my grits. But there's an awesome recipe out there that you soak like if you were gonna do like 4 cups of grits, you would soak like half a cup or a cup of cashews, like raw cashews.
Oh yeah.
Soak those overnight, and then you blend them in your bullet or blender,
Oh yeah.
and then you make your grits and salt them, and then you put in the cashew butter for like a vegan thing.
And that would add all that nice fatty nuttiness. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like
So good.
you
Yeah.
think vegan food like but like it's so good. Like
Yeah.
the cashews and grits. I don't know, some like hippie
Magic
Californian figured that out like that. They could just add cashews to grits. I don't know.
That's awesome. I'm really excited. I've never had, you hear about grits and whatever, but I've never had it, so terribly excited.
Yeah, we had like, remember we had like 30 people here and we did it was like a mushroom and grits and no one had ever had them.
Was that at we did it at the mushroom excursion, and then we did it also at the belly dancing workshop.
Yeah, and I was surprised, like
It's not a thing.
and in New
People didn't know it, but they liked it.
Yeah.
I guess even in New England though, it's not like even in New England they don't eat grits. It's like it's only the Southerners that are sort of displaced.
Yeah.
Into displaced, the displaced Southerners, the carpetbagger Southerners that had to move to New England.
But it's one of those foods that feels like comfort food. So
Yeah.
even if you've never had it, when you have it, it feels really good.
Yeah.
In your belly. Yeah, it's a nice food.
You can grate some cheese.
Okay.
The
Oh,
you can grate not
I'm gonna go wash my hands.
not this Swiss. Grate the cheddar.
Okay. I was just gonna.
And like kind of a lot really because cheese. Like there's
It's cheese.
there's this guy on the radio on CBC. I actually watched his comedy routine, but he was making fun of the South and like talking about how grits didn't taste like anything, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to add some candy canes to that, or do you want to add some 4 pounds of lard, like because ground white hominy doesn't actually taste like anything.
Yeah.
Like as kids, like your mom would put like an inch, like an inch of butter. I mean, it would be like it would be like so much butter. It was like ridiculous. And then like still that like when mom, like when I'm at mom's house, like I have her butter my grits or butter my toast or anything because like I don't have the wherewithal to butter my bread. Yeah. It's just like oh, I can eat it now because someone else did it.
Just so I see it going in.
Yeah, like she puts the butter to it.
I'm grating cheddar cheese, but Jimmy, talk about what you're doing.
Clarifying probably 4 tablespoons, as much as I feel comfortable, not as much as my mom would do. Like,
So you cook the grits first?
no, the grits
Or
we'll cook those after we're done with the sauce.
are they quick? Like
Yeah,
oats sort of thing?
it's a quick grits. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're done with the grits. Like the sauce it doesn't take that long. I mean, it's kind of the same way of putting together a curry or something, or like you start with your ghee or clarified butter, and I mean you could use olive oil or coconut oil, but I like clarified butter. That seems to taste the best to me. So anyways, you fry your onion in your oil. Basically add all your ingredients, so it's a pinch of marjoram. Don't add too much marjoram because the stuff is tastes like soap.
Let me smell.
I think it smells like soap to me. It's a very soapy smell.
That smells amazing. I could smell that all day. I've never grown it. It's one herb that I've, for whatever reason, never grown.
But don't be fooled. Like if you add too much of it, it's
it'd be
it's
awful.
gross.
Is that like a standard herb that goes in it? Like, does everybody do it with, or does everybody have their own kind of herb blend?
Yeah, like my fam, in the South, where I'm from in South Carolina, they would add a little bit of pinch of marjoram, I guess. But I don't know if it's a standard thing. I think there's so many different kinds of shrimp and grits that and it's probably from family to family, from town to town. I mean, if you go into Charleston and have a shrimp and grits, or you go in Louisiana and have a shrimp and grits, so I think it would be
Just different depending, yeah.
different. But this is just always the recipe that I always make. So then I use like a tablespoon of our herb and mushroom blend.
Oh, nice little ad there. I love it.
The Bulligoth
Say the whole thing.
herb and mushroom.
Mushroom
And
and herb
then,
seasoning.
Nice.
So the marjoram, like a herb and mushroom blend, a half a teaspoon of mustard seed.
Was it ground up?
Yeah, ground mustard seed, and like fresh parsley. But I've only got dry parsley, so like I would add kind of a lot of parsley because it's like, what is that?
So that, it looked like 2 or 3 tablespoons.
Yeah.
And then like thyme, but thyme's kind of like marjoram or tarragon.
Yeah.
Too much is just too much.
I could never have too much tarragon.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, snip the whole stalk. I love it. That licoricey. I put a ton of it in my eggs. So I like scramble up eggs and make it.
It is not. It's good.
I love it.
But I find I've overdone it on it a few times. And then like if it was the summer, I would put in like dried or fresh chives.
Yeah.
But it's the winter and we just have
Those are
like
scallions.
dried scallion. And that'll be fine. It'll give it like a bit more of an oniony.
Yeah.
Scallions dry beautifully, and they're a phenomenal addition to anything that you would normally put, especially soups and stuff like sauces.
That is a great tip. Because I've grown chives forever, and I've used dry chives, but I've never done the scallions. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because you get
and then you get it's
not
more
just
flavor.
the green, you also get the white onion part at the bottom, and sometimes you would buy a seed pack and there's like 200 seeds in there. I mean, even if half of them come, that's a lot of scallions.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure what to do with it, chop them and freeze them, and they're phenomenal.
So you add like 2 or 3 tablespoons of flour to make like a roux.
Yeah.
And then I just added I added like a quarter teaspoon or half a teaspoon of like cayenne.
Yeah. And I see a bay leaf in there.
Yeah, I put 2 bay leaves in there just.
Yeah.
And then so you've got your flour in there and then all the spices and your ghee and your onions and you're just making basically like a roux. And then you just fry that for a second and taking it off. So I've made a roux and I think it's just the basis. I think it's the basis of so much cooking. You've made kind of like a Indian cooking. They kind of make their ginger garlic spice paste with their onions, and in French cooking they maybe deglaze the pan with something, or and with this it's just like spices and butter, and so then
Everything delicious.
Yeah.
So I put garlic in. So then I would put in my tomato. These tomatoes we grew and then froze, and they're kind of like I think it's like a paste tomato. But I mean, I guess it would be better to put in like fresh tomatoes. But I mean, I think these will be.
That's just pretty close.
These will be
Your tomato is just frozen.
I took the skin off of them. Now I'm just chopping them. So you kind of have like a nice like paste there, like. So then I just after I cooked the tomato down for like 30 seconds. It was all mashed up, and then I added my 2 cups of chicken broth. Okay. And then I always add, and it could just be like.
Oh, it looks so pretty, and it smells really, really good.
It could just be like reaction, but I add like a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce.
If that makes anything better.
Yeah, like hello.
That
Worcestershire sauce. And then I add a few dashes of Tabasco sauce.
Nice.
And and it doesn't change the flavor a huge amount, but it changes.
It gives you a little bit of heat,
Changes enough, and I add like a little bit of salt, and then I would put in like a pinch of sugar too, just to even it out, and not like, and I'm not talking like sugar to sweeten it. I'm just talking like literally like a pinch to like change the. It just changes it enough that makes it slightly that you don't have to add more salt. And like, there's probably some sort of like scientific thing that happens there, but it seems like in a lot of like tomatoey sauces, if you just add the most tiniest amount of sugar, then
yeah.
Yeah,
like in a tomato sauce, you usually put in a pinch, and it just kind of evens it out, it kind of mellows it out. Like it's not as harsh, or it kind of brings everything together. You don't taste everything separately. It just,
Yeah, if we had a food scientist here, they could
this is my technical explanation. It just makes it better.
I'm just like,
I can make up all kinds of stuff.
I would agree.
Add sugar to it. So I've written you out the recipe, and we've added the clarified butter, onion, flour, more oil if necessary. It wasn't necessary. Cayenne pepper, pinch of marjoram, pinch of thyme, half a teaspoon of ground mustard seed, couple of tablespoons of fresh parsley. We used dried. Tablespoon of chives. We used dried scallion. 1 tablespoon of bullygoth urban mushroom blend.
Love it.
Chopped tomato, or 2. I added 3. Some mushrooms, which we didn't add, which we totally should have, but we don't have we don't have fresh mushrooms right now. If we had fresh mushrooms,
can I reconstitute some? We could add it.
Oh no, it's gonna be fine.
How much would you put if there were?
Put in like a handful of mushrooms, like
any kind.
Oh, it'd be so
I would
good with
I would either use button mushrooms or oyster
oysters,
mushrooms.
yeah.
Okay.
Like shiitakes, I think would change the flavor.
Yeah.
Like too.
Porcini too strong too.
Yeah, there's some that would be too strong. Like use like a mild mushroom. 3 cloves of garlic, which I added, 2 cups of chicken broth, a splash of Worcestershire, 3 dashes of tabasco, salt and pepper to taste. I might add more salt, like we'll taste it after, but add shrimp. So I'm just gonna like cook this so it all sort of like, so I'm kind of sure that it's like all. You can start making the grits though.
Okay.
Make 4, and you don't have to boil it first. Just add it all up like that. On the back of the grits, they're just like, oh, like bring this to a boil. Like that doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Toss
You
it
just add it all in. Yeah. Here, I've got like 20 bags of that, so I'll give Sherry one so she can.
So what kind of shrimp are they?
We got them at the superstore. It's just kind of like not the small ones, but the ones big enough that like.
They're cooked, peeled, deveined, all that.
Kind of be, definitely like devein, peel everything, like because you wouldn't want to do that in the process.
Tails.
So Jimmy, you were saying just to put this all in together.
Yeah, just do that and now boil it up.
I did it and then I was like,
whoops.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Like, then use that burner.
The back one?
Yeah. No, like I don't find that like they say like like their directions say like, oh, boil your water and then add the grits, but I mean I guess you can do that. It won't mess them up. But I've never.
If it works, fine. That's easier. Just to
because it's all a big
gloppy mess anyway.
Yeah.
So how many will this serve ish?
I guess this would serve like 4. Like how many? If we each had like 5 shrimp, this would serve like 4. I think there's like 30 shrimp in here, so. 6, so I guess maybe potentially 6 people, but I would serve more like 4 people, so everyone can have a little bit more shrimp if they wanted. So I should cover it.
Nice.
And you could start like I don't think it would be necessarily rude either to put like some Tabasco over your shrimp and grits, like if they weren't spicy enough for you, like.
So do people do this ever with other seafood or other meat, or is there like vegetarian versions that people do, or do you know, or is this just always the way you make it?
I think you could do if you used coconut oil instead of ghee, and then you used like lobster mushrooms. There was a vegan gal that was here, and so for our mushroom hunting thing. And we did, instead of butter and shrimp, we did coconut oil and lobster mushrooms, and it was really good. It was just, and then instead of like cheese and butter, what we're gonna have tonight in our grits, I used the cashew thing.
It's really rich. It's a beautiful, beautiful flavor.
You could do like a Nova Scotian version of it with lobster.
Oh yeah, I bet you could do scallop.
Scallop,
I bet you could do lobster. I bet you could do scallop.
Yeah, fishy and.
I bet you could do haddock.
Even haddock.
I bet you could do any. I mean, you wouldn't. If you put your haddock in, I think you'd want to put it in, then let it like sort of poach.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then because you wouldn't want to stir your haddock because it would just be like it would be like tuna fish haddock. But yeah, if you just poached your haddock in it the last like 6 or 7 minutes, I think that would be awesome. Lobster would be, of course, lobster and anything would be super awesome because I love lobster. The scallops would be awesome.
Yeah, and they would hold their shape.
Yeah, the scallop would be really good.
Texture,
and I actually wrote on this thing at the very bottom, add shrimp, scallop.
Ah, there you go.
So, I wrote or. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, thank you.
So anyways, that's basically done. The grits are being cooked.
So that's pretty quick, too. Like, that's not a... I mean, I don't know. I'm just chatting about it. I don't know how long it took, but it's not...
No, it's
if it's just like, everyday food, then you're not going to have an everyday food that takes
after work.
Forever,
you don't want to spend 2 hours.
I mean, and the thing is like, if you just had your Bullygoth Farm urban mushroom eggs, you'd be fine. You'd be saving money.
It really is great.
No, but like, say you just had some dried, like, whatever dried herbs that you've got, like, whether you've got like, chives or thyme or some parsley, like it's...
I was just going to say, what's in the mushroom and herb seasoning is parsley, lemon balm, sage, thyme, and onion. Oh, mushroom. Did I say that at the beginning? Mushroom. No. Mushroom is first. Yeah. So there already is, the mushroom.
There's a little bit of mushroom there,
A nice mushroominess.
So, I mean, if you just had some kind of like herb blend like that you like use that, and then and then it'll be fine. But I mean, I think like a big flavor in it, like you could add more cayenne. Yeah. It could be spicier. Some people, like, at this point, you could add, like, 2 or 3 tablespoons of cream. Like,
I'm a fan of cream.
I know, yeah. So am I.
We're going to have cream on our dessert, so, like, I think it would be...
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in.
But,
what about, like, Old Bay? Like a seafood seasoning? Would people do that? Is that like a thing?
I think you could do that.
Is that just
that would be fun.
I have a big thing of Old Bay. I don't think there's actually bay in it. I don't know if it's bay like
a harbor
body of water. Yeah.
I like that stuff.
But it's good. It's got a little bit of heat, but it's traditionally a seafood thing from one of the Carolinas, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do it with crab sandwiches.
Yes.
Maybe? Am I making this up? Just.
I think you could use Old Bay.
Yeah, because it's got a little bit of heat and it's got.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Just add like a tablespoon of parsley or 2 tablespoons of parsley and some chive in your onion, and if you have Tabasco or Worcestershire, you don't have to add Tabasco. I think cayenne's kind of a specific flavor in this.
Cool.
I'll give you a taster.
Ooh.
I'll give it a little taste.
Oh, it looks so good.
So it's gonna go over. It's gonna go over grits.
Oh yeah. That's really good. And like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of heat. And it tastes shrimpy, like the shrimp flavor's already kind of gone all through. Yeah. There's a little bit of heat, a little buttery. That is good. That's really nice. Like you could theoretically serve that on anything. Like if you
put it on mashed
corn
potatoes.
Or whatever, you could put it. Yeah, you could put it on potatoes. You could put it on rice. You could put it on noodles, like your rice and beans.
Yeah. You could totally put it on
noodles or
macaroni noodles. Or
I love how versatile this is.
It's a sauce. Yeah.
So you could definitely, if we made rice, and southern rice is kind of like they
But
make
you can
kind
even
of
have
rice.
that on over a piece of bread, like a toast or something too.
They make kind of this like gooey, like all the rice down south is kind of this like gooey,
like a sticky rice.
Yeah, it's like it's this buttery, sticky mass. It's not like fluffy,
not like a fluffy, loose.
Piecey, yeah.
It's not like Asian or East Indian rice. But then, so you just cook your grits. The recipe on the.
So is the finished texture of the grits kind of like oatmeal? Like, is it that sort of, or is it thinner, or if they had farina different? Or?
It reminds me of farina.
I'm guessing that's a wheat thing. Like
it looks just like that. Here, let's use. The texture is like cornmeal.
Oh, like cooked cornmeal.
Yes.
So the grits are like lava at this point. You just kind of boil them.
Oh yeah. It looks like cream of wheat to me. My mom always used to make cream of wheat when I was a kid, and that's what it.
It is similar. So a little bit. This tastes a little grittier, I guess, and like. I guess cream of wheat is a little bit creamier.
Yeah.
Cream
You'll have to-
of corn is more grits.
Yeah. Okay, tell me what you're doing.
So add a ton of butter to your
Like, how much
grits.
is the ton?
Like,
I wasn't paying attention when you were.
like I've already got I probably added like 2 tablespoons of butter to my grits.
Okay.
And then I add as much cheese as possible. I mean, it couldn't be half cheese. I mean, grits are like,
That's probably like 2 cups of cheese.
yeah, like just add like a ton of cheese.
And what
Cup
kind
and a
was that?
half to 2 cups.
I added cheddar.
Old cheddar.
Ooh, nice.
I think Monterey Jack would be fine. I think that like mozzarella would be fine.
Yeah,
Like I like cheddar. So is everyone hungry? Because I think that I'm just gonna make the bread and then we'll. So Sherry, if you're serving this to people, I would normally at this point I would chop like really thin, like I would chop like a red or orange or yellow pepper. I would chop like half of it kind of thin.
What kind?
Like a bell pepper.
A sweet pepper. Okay.
Yeah, sweet pepper. And I'd throw it in for like, I would barely cook it. It would almost be like a crunchy thing. It would be like each person would get like 4 or 5 little slivers.
Sort of a garnishy sort of.
Yeah, kind of a garnish.
Okay.
I would garnish it with a thin slice of bell pepper.
Pretty.
But I forgot to get that. But if you're serving that and you want to be like, boom, like this is really it, then like.
Oh yeah, if you had red on there, that would just like, with the green of all the herbs and.
Then it would look cool and it would be, you know, and I like bell pepper. And shall I serve you, ladies?
Yes, please.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. And is this your coleslaw?
Yes.
No, I did not make it. Jimmy made the coleslaw. I was gonna make a salad tonight, but he made it.
So you have to tell me what you put in your coleslaw. I'm gonna take a bite.
Take a bite. It's just salt, olive oil, and lime.
Oh yeah.
Cabbage, carrot. Is there anything other than cabbage and carrot?
Oh yeah, there's cabbage and carrot in it.
It's just a bowl of salt, olive oil, and lime.
Yeah.
There is cabbage.
Coleslaw. There's not even any coal in it.
It's like the emperor's coleslaw.
Salad, yeah.
Here, I'm just putting a little bit on, and then you guys can come back and take as much as you want, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, do it how you think it's delicious.
Oh, it's so
It's
pretty.
amazing.
The perfect bite has like shrimp, some sauce, and the scoop of the grits.
Okay.
I think
I will
that's.
start there.
But then
Me
you
too.
can have some pretty good bites with just the sauce and just the grits too.
All right. That is delicious.
Coleslaw.
That's really good.
Nice.
I'm not just saying that. With my mouth full, sorry.
Awesome.
Yep. It's all the good things. It's like the best of every flavor, and there's a little bit of heat, and it's
It hits all the parts in
seafoody
your
and
tongue,
salty
yeah.
and Okay, so it's dipping the waffle. Is that the thing?
Yeah, I'd say.
All right. Oh, it's so good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Jimmy and Sasha for having me over. You can find out more about them and their farm at bullygoth.net. That's BULLYGOTH.net. You can also read more about their farm's CSA program, about their workshops that they offer. You can sign up for their newsletter at their site, so you should definitely check it out. There are more details and links at novascotiakitchens.com. Thanks so much to Julian Smith for the music. Thank you to Adam Graham for generally being awesome and helping out with some of the technical details. And thank you so much to you for listening. Take care. Until next time.
And a little wine for the bird, and then. Oh, that's fine. No, don't worry about that. Baby, I wanna give you kisses sweet. Only for one night and no repeat. Maybe you go away and never call. But a taste of honey is worse than none at all.
included.
So I was like,